Yes.
I mean, it's quite unbelievable. This one is just, it's perfect. 1959. You can listen.
How much is
Just
this?
listen for a minute. The sustain. Listen to it.
I'm not hearing it.
You would, though, if it were playing, because it's famous for its sustain. I mean, you can just hold it.
Well, I mean, so you know.
And you can go and have a bite, and you still be hearing that one.
ABC, Steve here, FlipSideCT. Welcome. And my last videos, actually the last two videos, I did a bubblegum music episode, getting my friend Ron to talk about bubblegum music, and several people commented, liked it. I know it's not a popular genre, but we tie in Saturday morning cartoons, which is really big, with some of the older folks. But it's a genre that's wide, vast, covers the 60s and 70s, can even go up into the 80s. But bubblegum, not a huge fan, and I mentioned this to a few other folks, and I told Ron that too. I'm just interested. I love his passion when I go with him somewhere and he gets into his bubblegum rap, and it's fun to hear him get excited and talk about it. And so I figured I had to share this with you. So check it out. Hopefully you can walk away with some kind of new knowledge about it. That's about it. So I got a few records. Let's see. I did promise I was going to get Mrs. FlipSideCT to get on here. I've been trying. Her schedule is so chaotic, but I'm trying, and it eventually will happen, I promise. She got a big stack for me to show, so I'm excited to do that. I did go to a show this past Sunday. I'm not ready to show that. I got another batch, and I got something else to show, but did really, really well in buying some really cool albums, things I really wanted and stuff I learned about. So some interesting things, so you keep up with that. And so, like I said, I just got a few here, and during the holidays, I got to go to Boston and to squeeze out for a few hours to Harvard Square. And there's a couple stores there. And first of all, there's a few Boston traveling VCers getting together. Have a blast, guys. Wish I was with you. But I'm happen to be working. So so I went into In Your Ear, which is a store that I think is in Providence. It's in near Kenmore Square, I believe, in Boston. But anyway, Jimmy Page was in one of the stores there, which is really cool. If you go to their website, you'll see it. Just a funky place. You go walk down, and it's really just one of these cluttered old-time places, and albums all over the place. So I didn't go in there expecting. I expected high prices. It was a little tough to find, and eventually I got there. And before I forget, I did go to the other two stores. One was Armageddon, which is a punk, heavy punk. I mean, if you're into the hardcore, check out Armageddon. I really didn't venture through it. It was a little too hard for me. And then there was another one down the street, which was more new, some used, a little expensive. But I did pick up two, and two albums I've been wanting, looking still for more. But the artist is Barry Goldberg. And two albums, this is And Friends, and this is the Barry Goldberg Reunion. So two different groups of people here. Barry has a lot of history. He's still around. Very famous for an album he did with Mike Bloomfield, Two Jews Blues. That's the name. But he basically grew up in Chicago. That's where he met Mike Bloomfield, which is a really huge, I should say, chemistry going on between the two.
Michael Bloomfield was one of the greatest blues guitar players of all time, and he was also one of my best friends. Michael passed away many years ago, but I still think about him all the time. I decided to tell the story of my life and my music career in a book, and at the same time, my wonderful relationship and adventures with my buddy Mike Bloomfield. The first time I was aware of Michael was when I was in high school. I was 16 years old. We had rival rock and roll bands. He was aware of me, I was aware of him. Even at that time, I could tell that he had the presence of something really special. Michael would say at one of those times that, man, you should come down to the south side with me of Chicago, the west side of Chicago. I've been down there a lot, you know, and I'm really into the blues, man. You got to get into the blues. And Michael said, man, you got to come down with me. I've got this amazing relationships with the great blues masters like Howling Wolf and Muddy Waters, and they're teaching me, man. They're letting me sit in with them, and it's really an amazing trip. It's the blues, and we're learning from the masters, and it's a special time now in Chicago that will probably never happen again. Trust me, you'll really dig it.
Now, he did a lot of work, really famous for one true event, which is Dylan's electrified performance at the Newport Folk Festival. He was part of that with Mike Bloomfield. So that's how the two hit it up. But he did things with Gladys Knight and the Pips. He did things with the Ramones. Also Muddy Waters, Otis Rush. I'm cheating here, so bear with me. Graham Parsons, Steve Miller, Rod Stewart. But he also is on the recording session for Devil with the Blue Dress On and Good Golly Miss Molly from the Mitch Ryder. The Detroit Wheels. Leonard Cohen, I mentioned the Ramones, Flying Burrito Brothers, Stephen Stills, Al Cooper, Mike Bloomfield session album. Just check him out. Barry Goldberg, pretty easy to remember. He's just a really cool guy who really just lays back and did some great rock and roll contributions. Still active. Has a book out, only on Kindle though. But these two albums. So this one is Harvey Mandel and Mike Bloomfield on this one. Now I think they switch off bass and guitar, but this is just, and of course Barry, just a phenomenal record for me. I'm not going to say it was brilliant, but it's really cool to listen to. Some live work here. This one is, and also Barry Goldberg formed Electric Flag, with Mike Bloomfield, Buddy Miles. If you haven't heard of the Electric Flag, check him out. But this one is with Charles Musselwhite and Harvey Mandel, and still a really cool album. These were $10 each, and I thought that was really, really fair for me. I went to a store next to or two store purchases, and I've purchased her before, Ella Fitzgerald. Just, I don't know how much this was, $5, $6. A double album of just some of the hits here, 2 LP set. My wife and I just love Ella, and it's great background music. This is something I never had, and I've been looking for and putting it off until I saw it now, and it was $5, which I think is a great. This is Beck, Bogert, and a piece. Bogert and a piece from Vanilla Fudge. They did Cactus. you know this album, Jeff Beck. So this is 1973ish. So these two guys just left Cactus. I from the stuff I've been reading, that Beck sort of wanted to do a Zeppelin-ish type thing and put these guys together, and it gives a run for the money and some really cool sounds on this record. Really a good one to have. Songs like Superstition. So the next two records are from another store, and this is Charles Musselwhite. A lot of you people, I'm sure, have heard of him. Blues harmonica player. This is from 1970, maybe. Of course, it doesn't say, but this was $10. Paramount. It does. I think it's 69, maybe earlier. This is a really good album for the blues. No one known here musician-wise, but he's played around with a lot of musicians. Like I mentioned, Barry Goldberg. He played with him. He plays with a lot of people. So check him out. I'm sure you heard about him, Charles Musselwhite. This album is by a artist called Michael Brook. Michael's from Canada and is well known as a producer. This is called Hybrid, his first album. He is ambient, dark ambient, plays all genres. He played with Fripp and Sylvan Tours. He is the father of the infinite guitar, and what that means is it's when they hold a note, it could just be infinite. It'll just stay there, sustained.
83, no, more 84, 85. I go to Ireland to work with U2.
Yeah.
And my scientist, inventor, friend of Michael Brooks, who's a Canadian guy,
Right.
builds the infinite sustain guitar with Duncan pickups.
Wow.
Right there.
Wow. Okay.
He treats the back
these are
pickup.
old.
He treats the back pickup like a speaker.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
yeah,
he drives it. He sends power to it, and it tries to be a speaker and puts signal back into the strings, then picked up by the front pickup, and you get a loop.
Oh, that's cool.
Gave a guitar, the Tokai Strat copy. He also, Daniel Lanos and Eno are on here, so definitely why I also grabbed it. But Daniel Lanos and Eno were producers for U2, Joshua Tree, and Michael gave Edge one of the Infinite guitars. He used it on With or Without You, and you hear that definitely in the song. But this is just, not for everyone, ambient. And last but not least, a online buy. I've talked about this band. A few others have talked about this band. And actually it's the lead singer. And the band from the Chesterfield Kings out of Rochester, New York. Great albums, garage rock, rock and roll, whatever you want to call it. Greg Stackhouse Prevost, the lead singer, and he went out on his own. So this is I guess this is a Spanish version, Mississippi Murderer. And wasn't so expensive. I think it was under $20. But I love the Chesterfield Kings and listened to his stuff online, and I just said, gotta have it.
No, I do. Faces man wants to bury me. The smoke is rising from the mountain sun. A man's walking now with a gun. I remember that I had.
Okay, Johnny Thunders, New York Dolls, Keith, yeah, he's a wannabe Jagger singer. He's a wannabe Johnny Thunders. Okay, but this guy rocks. He's very intellectual. He's written books, which I've shown, Rolling Stones gear. He's really all over the place doing a lot of things if you look him up. But more importantly, this album is just really killer rock and roll. You could love it, you could hate it. It's definitely Stone sounding in the sense of singing. If you can get over that, you're good. But I just thought this is a killer album to get. I was recommended it, and I really enjoyed it. So cool rock and roll.
Been a month since you ran away. Answer my nerves out, starting to fray. I'm going to New York. I'm going to New York. I'm going to New York. I got to walk.
That's it, folks. I hope to see you soon.